Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Kirawami greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news from a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning Marianas.
Good morning, Marianas, and welcome back to our first, this is our first edition over here at the studio here at the Sideline Studio here. But good morning, Marianas. It's great to be here. It's great to see you guys. Holy cow, there's actually some of you who are here. We have a lot that we're going to talk about this morning. We're going to talk about everything that's happening here in the CNMI. Toba Castro is in the house with the Tint Man from Dan with the plan. It's great to see you guys. Thought about giving you guys a heads up last night and letting you know that we're going to be back on the air starting today. But there was just too much stuff going on. It was a little bit wild, a little bit fun, a little bit crazy. But everything seems to find a way of working itself out here in the Marianas. And really, really, really glad to be back here with you. Normally, we're out here just doing baseball these days. And baseball is something we really love. And hopefully this weather keeps it up because we'll be out there tonight to cover the baseball game that we've got. Yes, that's awesome. But you see a little bit different background over here from the last time we were doing it. We used to do it from the man cave at the official Good Morning Mariana studios at the old house in San Vicente. Now you're looking at something different, totally opposite view. Back there is our lagoon. That's right. You're looking out on Saipan's west coast. If you're not out here in the CNMI, you're out back in the States, well, at least you're going to be able to see what it looks like. And you'll be able to see, at least over one of my shoulders, what the traffic looks like. We're going to figure out this studio arrangement, how this works, and if this is going to be if I'm going to do it right from here, or we're going to do it back in the other studio, which is more designed to really, it's certainly more acoustically designed than this spot. But you know, ever since we moved into this studio about a year ago, I thought that this would, if we end up doing Good Morning Marianas again, this is going to be the location. And so last night was here pretty late, setting everything up just to give it a good run, just see how everything works. And we're still going to work out some of the kinks, going to change some things around. I already got like one monitor here, but one monitor who's not working, doesn't want to play games. That's all right. I got the original stuff that I was going to bring in. So we're going to see how it all lines up. But it's just great to be here. So let's not mess around. We got a lot of stuff to get to. We're going to talk about the weather we got today. And right now, it's not too bad. We had a lot of rain last night and yesterday. So if you like taking your 4x4 through the puddles, or you just like cruising and splashing in your car, today's the day for you. Right now, it's mostly cloudy skies. It's 79 degrees here in the Marianas. Looking at a high of 86 today. Some isolated showers throughout the day. East winds 14 to 16 miles per hour. Gusts as high as 21. That's not going to be too bad. It'll keep us nice and cool, and hey, we could use it. It's been so dry. We've had all those wildfires that you've been reading about. You've been seeing all kinds of posts about it. And, well, hopefully this rain will do a little bit something to knock that back a little bit as we enter into one heck of a dry season. It's supposed to be dry season now. And we'll take that rain. So anyway, let's get you started and go off and let you know what's going on with AP Network News.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. The Federal Reserve is keeping interest rates at a 2-decade high. The AP's Sagar Magani reports inflation is the reason.
The Fed had believed inflation was steadily easing, but
in recent months, inflation has shown a lack of further progress toward our 2% objective.
And Chair Jerome Powell says it will need greater confidence prices are slowing toward that goal before cutting rates.
I don't know exactly when that will be.
He says the Fed's prepared to keep the rates where they are as long as needed, after just 6 weeks ago projecting 3 rate cuts this year. Some Fed officials have speculated rates may not be high enough to curb the economy and inflation, but Powell's dismissing that.
I think it's unlikely that the next policy rate move will be a hike.
It also downplays concerns of stagflation, a toxic mix of weak growth, high unemployment, and elevated inflation.
I don't see the stag or the inflation, actually.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
Stocks finished mixed, the Dow up 87 points. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Democrats will table an attempt by Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene to oust Speaker Mike Johnson.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is the star of the show. The show is called Republicans Gone Wild. It is undermining the well-being of the American people.
Prosecutors in New York are asking for a September retrial for Harvey Weinstein. The disgraced movie mogul's 2020 rape conviction was overturned by an appeals court. Alvin Bragg is the DA.
The Court of Appeals decision certainly restricts us from using evidence that was used last time. But to be clear, we believe that we have a strong case.
Democrats in the Arizona Senate have enough votes to repeal an abortion ban. This is AP News. A 98-year-old woman in Ukraine who escaped Russian forces by walking almost 6 miles alone, wearing slippers and carrying a walking stick, was reunited with her family.
Lydia Stepanivna Lomikovska says in a video interview posted by the National Police of Donetsk region, "I woke up surrounded by shooting all around. So scary." Stepanivna and her family decided last week that the time had come to leave. The young family members took the back routes, but Lydia wanted to stay on the main road. The tough 98-year-old continues. "As I started walking, I saw uprooted trees. I lay down 2 times to rest. I was falling too. Once I lost balance and fell into weeds. Walking all day without food and water, she eventually reached Ukrainian lines." I'm Charles de Ledesma.
An exhibition of Western military equipment captured from Ukrainian forces opened today in Moscow. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Who's here? Oh, man. I don't know. It's not just the music, but it looks like everybody. That's right. Everybody is back again. Oh, my gosh. I think that music's a little too loud. Oh, my God. We're back again is right. Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back. It is Good Morning Marianas here, and it is 7:43 in the a.m. here on the island of Saipan, where traffic does not exist unless you live and work along Beach Road in the mornings. That does not sound awesome, right? I know. Don't worry about it. Somebody was talking to me the other day about how bad traffic was, and I'm like, it's all relative. It's all relative. Compared to what we're used to here in Saipan, we are not used to traffic. Maybe a little bit pre-road construction. And you'd find it maybe in front of, like around Marianas High School when they're starting school up, or when you're out at the intersection by AK, or even by IT&E now. Those are the choke points. Oh, and don't forget the folks coming from Azlito. If you're going on Chela Monsignor Martinez, trying to take a left and get down the hill, or take a right and go up the hill, I know your pain well. Well, anyway, it's not that bad, but you're going to see it build up behind me a little bit as the morning goes on. Look how slow that car is going over my shoulder. Both of those guys. Still not that bad. You could be worse. You could be living in Guam. Dispensa Guam. I don't mean it so much for you, but it could be worse. You could be living in the mainland. You could be missing your life back home here in Saipan. But if you're already here, you're already good to go. And we're good to go this morning with all your headlines, give you a little heads up on what's going on. And I'll tell you what, it's not in the paper today as the top story, but it was definitely the top story this week. The Hyatt. Oh my God, the Hyatt. Oh, how many calories the Hyatt has given me over the years. Oh, how many. Oh, Diego Villagomez, good morning from Texas. Buenas, good to see you. Oh, yeah, Chris, you got it, or the CK post office when the tax comes out. But the Hyatt has given me so many calories. I've asked for so many extra bottles of champagne and glasses on those champagne brunches. You name it, they were able to do it. They were all customer service focused. And we've only really got about about 2 months left with them. They've already stopped taking room reservations, which is a shame, and they are having brunch. I think the last brunch that they're going to have is on Mother's Day, so May 12th. If you're not already reserved, you want to get in there. And while they're not taking reservations generally online right now, they are doing stuff for the customers here in Saipan because the hotel is still going to be open, but they're knocking down the services as time goes on, as they get closer and closer to their closure date. And they're going to leave it open for folks who want to have those nostalgia stays at Hyatt before they close. I mean, this is a big loss for the community. They've been here for 43 years. 43 years. That's almost half as old as insert somebody's name. I'm not going to pick on it right now, but I was gonna. But 43 years. 43 years they've been here, and we're going to lose it. It's like we lost Marianas Resort. We know what that looks like now, and we know how that place is right now. But is that what Hyatt's going to turn into? And that's what a lot of people are talking about. The first thing was getting over the shock. The second, I think a lot of people, their second thought was two things. One, you're either thinking, what about those employees? If they got over 80% local hires, what's going to happen to them? I mean, what's going to happen to the CWs too? But what's going to happen to those 80% of the local folks? What's the other one that everyone's talking about? Ooh, what's up with their lease? They re-upped 2 years ago. And so do they got to give it back? Or, what is the plan? Well, best that we can figure so far is that they're going to have to figure all that stuff out with DPL. Not a big deal. But they haven't publicly talked about how that whole process is going to work. But from all the conversations that we've had with people at the Hyatt, inside the Hyatt, they're not doing this as a rebrand. Everything that we're hoping for, maybe they'd still be there just with a different face, so they'd still have another one of our mainstay in the Western Garapan district would still be there, but maybe under a different brand. It is not the case right now. They're not rebranding. People keep talking about Marriott. Marriott, that's those guys down the street next to PIC still trying to figure out their game, or that honest profit deal that they have down there. The only thing that I've seen over there recently is that they've gotten rid of some of the scaffolding that looked as rusty as, remember that old scaffolding up at the hotel by the airport that never got finished? It looked like that for a long time, and it hasn't even been there that long. Holy cow. It's been about 8 years since I left PIC when I used to be over there, and they were building it then. And can you just imagine? They got started a little bit before I got there. So, I mean, you figure that's a 9-year project that stalled, and boy, that's just not awesome. All right, well, check your comments real quick. Tobot saying, hopefully that's not the finished product along Beach Road heading north to Marianas Eye. My wife's car almost broke something over the sewer covers about 4 inches over the road. Holy cow, you know what we should do? I don't know that we're going to get him this morning. Maybe we could send him a message. Henry Bautista, he's in charge of all the highway projects for DPW. We had him on the show about a year ago when we were talking about the Quartermaster Road project. You remember that intersection that was a big headache back then? Well, it's like one of our best intersections now. And Henry's one of the guys who's taking care of that. So we'll see if we can't give him get him on to give us an update. Now, the big thing that he's going to end up doing, hopefully, is telling us, yep, after they get started, they're going to give an extra coat of asphalt on there. Well, they got to get done first. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break. I'm not going to throw any commercials up here or anything. You're just going to hear some of the Good Morning Marianas music. Oh, it's awesome, right? Yeah, I know. So we're going to listen to that. Just give me a minute or two. We're not going away. But we are going to take a little bit of a break. Got someone in studio I want to say hey to. And, yeah, not bad. We'll get our commercial started again, I promise. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in just a little bit.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawami greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news, from a beautiful place with Pacific views, it's always so much fun on Good Morning Marianas. Good morning, Marianas. So many things we got to discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news, from a beautiful place with Pacific views, it's always so much fun on Good Morning Marianas.
And welcome back. Hey, thanks for your patience on that one. In lieu of having you watch commercial breaks, what we ended up doing was I had my partner in crime come in and came into the rescue. He's like, dude, you look a little yellow on there. Let's work on that lighting. So got some nice lighting adjustments, some camera adjustments, and hopefully it's the coolest thing since sliced bread. Well, I'll tell you what else is cool. Saipan right now. It is still, well, it's got to be warmer now. Let me give it a little refresh just to make sure. Yes, it's still showing at 79 degrees. A nice, comfortable 79 degrees out here in Saipan. Gotta absolutely love it. But hopefully it doesn't get to be one of those hot, muggy days because it's going to get up there. It's going to be a high of 86 today. Isolated showers throughout the day. Highs near 86. Winds out of the east from 14 to 16 miles per hour. The gusts, enough to mess your hair up at 21 miles per hour. Not too bad. Probably not going to be too bad to go out there. You want to catch one of those Hobie Cat rides, or maybe you want to do some windsurfing. It's also nice if you don't want to use the aircon, and while you're stuck in the traffic behind me on Beach Road, you could just open up the windows, let it breeze through a little bit. But I don't see the palm fronds and the trees moving around too much. But hey, it's the National Weather Service. They tell us, and I believe it. That's just how it works. I'm not the expert when it comes to weather, but I'll let you know what they've got for us. Anyway, we got a pretty interesting morning today. We were just talking about the Hyatt before we took that break and about what a shock it was for everybody and trying to deal with what it's like. Hey, oh my goodness. Hey, Glenn Hunter, Mr. Broadband, is watching. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you too. Thanks. It's great to be back. I got to tell you, I'm pretty happy about it too. Chris, great to see you again. I'm glad that you thought it was a makeup issue because it very well might. I might need it, really. Maybe some to give a little definition to the face that got a little bit round. I tried to work on it a little bit. You know, we had that Gold's Gym Challenge, and boy, I'll tell you, everybody's got an excuse. Oh, everyone's got a reason, an excuse, and to try and explain the fat away. Ends up doesn't work. You're getting those pounds. You're getting those pounds. And I got those pounds. But I'll tell you, playing soccer, and you think I've made it pretty good. I've made it pretty far before I had a pretty serious injury. It made it till this year before. I broke a bone before, actually, so it's not exactly 17 years old, playing hockey senior year, I broke my collarbone, right? But I've been pretty good ever since. A rib here and there. But I ended up screwing up my knee playing soccer about 2 months ago. And it was bad. It was bad, and then it started getting better pretty quick. And I'm like, oh, look at this, bulletproof. I'm fine. I slapped on a brace. I felt pretty good. I'm like, okay, I could do this. So I went out and played with reckless abandon again. The next week, I go out and do it again, playing all game, right? 10 minutes left. That brace was not as strong as the knee I used to have either, because about 10 minutes left, I went to plant with my right, do something, and then felt like the whole thing was that, you know, that hyperextension feeling? It's awful, right? Whether it's your knees, your elbows, whatever it is, if you hyperextend something, that's not the way you want to do it. Well, that's how my whole knee felt, and I'm like, holy crap. This is it for me. I guess I'm done. I'm definitely done for the soccer season, but I was more worried about, like, am I going to be able to do anything else afterwards? Is this the end of walking and all that stuff? Well, 2 months later, and being smart about not going back to the game until I'm fully healed up, and it's starting to come around. So I'm able to walk, move up and down stairs and all that stuff. So hooray for me. But getting back to it was tough. So doing that Gold's Gym Challenge, this happened like smack in the middle of it and kind of screwed me up. But I ended up I didn't, I'm a bad Catholic. We just got our kids their first communion, so hooray for them. I was at least good in that aspect of it. But bad Catholics, I didn't really give anything up for Lent. I thought about it too late, and I couldn't think of anything. I was bad Catholic. All right, but for the month of April, I gave up sweets. I'll say sugar, but I'm not one of those guys who like dialed into, well, let me read all the ingredients. No. It's just the stuff that like ice cream, chocolates, candies, all those kind of things. I just didn't do that stuff for the whole month of April. And holy cow, if there's a rehab program for sugar addicts, I need to check in, because I thought about eating something like every single day for the whole month. Every day. I mean, today's only May 2nd. And I could have yesterday, especially because going to the chamber lunch, it's great. You go to the chamber, they've got this great meal that's there wherever it was. Yesterday was at World Resort. And the meal was great, but then all those desserts there. But after a month of not doing it, I ended up just not even being able to do any more exercise or anything. I ended up losing like 6 pounds doing nothing just by not eating sweets. I ended up eating other stuff, I didn't give up anything else, just the sweets. And just adding a lot more fruit into it and everything. And man, 6 pounds, well, from doing nothing, I'm going to do it again. The other thing is, I thought about like, hey, I made it through this month. Yeah, let's go for it on May 1st. But holy cow, you look at it, like if I'm thinking about it that much, I must be like a legit sugar addict. What am I thinking if I'm going back to it? I'm going back to that thing that's got its hold on me. I can't do it. I don't know if you've got one of those things too. If you've got one of those vices that you can't get away from. Maybe it's Bud Light. I don't know. Maybe it is. Who knows what it is? But whatever it is, you can give us a call and tell us about your struggle with it, or something more light. Give us a call anyway. The number is 670-789-2323. The lines are open. We haven't used them yet since we started today. So you could be the first caller to call us on this new edition of the show as we broadcast from the third floor of the CEDA building. Yeah, we moved in here a year ago, and we haven't done Good Morning Marianas since April 19th. And on April 20th of 23 is when we came up with Tobat's idea of the Kelaguen wrap. Excuse me. And I love that. That was fun. But then, it was something that I just couldn't continue. But now I can continue. We get into that at another time too. But I'm looking for the updates, the latest update that we're going to get from AP Headline News, talk about what's going on there, the major stories that are happening in the States. But we can stay on here. We just got done talking about the highways here. We talked about the road projects. We were talking about the Hyatt, the real big thing about the Hyatt closing. What does that mean for the rest of the economy? I don't know. What do you think? One sec. This coffee is too good. Kathy made it for me to wish me luck on the new venture, doing this stuff here, getting back into it. So thank you, my love. I'm loving this coffee. Anyway, so what does that mean with the Hyatt closing? It's a lot more than just the Hyatt. It's a lot more than just those employees. I mean, think about all the folks, how the economy ties into that, right? One, you don't want to have a blighted property in the heart of your tourism district. The tourism district needs some love, right? They're doing all the remodeling of the restructuring of the roads, and some of those buildings down there, well, we know what Garapan looks like. It's not the gem that it used to be. It needs some love. And to add, an empty property down there that was one of our, mainstays, that's going to be kind of tough. Well, you've got the Hyatt. If that goes away, not only that, not only do those employees lose their jobs, the CNMI loses that tax revenue. They lose all the rental payments for that lease, for that public land. And what else? Well, those are CUC payments that aren't going to be made because no one's going to be using it. Does that help the power plant? Sure. Does that help the sewage system down there? Probably. You always know that the lift station that's down there by the Hyatt it's notoriously bad, right? You can smell it on too many occasions when you're going down there. So that's not a great thing. But you know what else? So maybe it'll help that if you're looking for a silver lining. I guess maybe that would be it. But what are the other issues that happen now? You've got all those other businesses in Garapan are going to lose the revenues from the tourists that just walk around that would normally stay there. And look, Naked Fish is right next door, right? All those guests who would normally stay there, it's right there. It's a hop, skip, and a jump away. You have to drive past Naked Fish to get to the Hyatt. Well, now they're going to lose that traffic. Sure, Crown is right there too, but you know those folks are going to have to walk around a little bit more. It's a little bit more of a thing to get over there. Keep going, sure. How about the Hyatt? They have laundry services that they need. They do a lot in house, but there's stuff that they get done outside. They have big events. They got to call in performers. They got to call in local musicians. They got to call in like decorators to get things for their big events. Oh, what else? Oh, well, there's people who hold events there that aren't going to be able to be there anymore. So these are a whole bunch of groups that won't get it. It's not just there, folks, though. We're talking about, like, think of all of the people that Hyatt has to buy from here. They buy food from wholesalers all over. They buy their materials, their soaps, their towels, you name it. They're not going on Amazon to buy everything. They're getting a lot of it from wholesalers here, and it's a beneficial relationship, and that's how that economic machine's going on. Well, losing the Hyatt is a lot more than just losing the Hyatt. I mean, think of all those wholesalers. Think of the distributors, like, you know, Marpac sells to them, PTC sells to them. Well, now they just lost a massive client that they would have with a lot of tourists and people who would be buying stuff from them, and now they just don't have that. They're not the only ones. I mean, I think that the big winner out of this, and they're not rejoicing it, trust me. But if there is a winner, it would be Crown, because they're right next door. So if someone is looking to stay in Garapan at, you know, a big hotel, well, then it's right there. But we've been hearing it from Hammy for a while that a lot of the people are not staying at the big hotels. They're staying at the small Airbnbs, and then they're walking their luggage down the street and getting like their last night or two stay for their vacation at one of those places so they can experience it a little bit. And maybe that's because they get the airport shuttle out of it too. I mean, that might be part of it. So there's a lot going on. It's not just losing that hotel. It impacts so many different industries here. And again, it's one of the heavies. And our last Japanese hotel is Grand Rio. We'll see what happens with that. You know, the former Hoffaday. If you've been off island for a while, you don't remember, or you're not keeping up to date with all the hotel name changes. Remember, like, I only know the ones that since I started here, like Crown was Fiesta, was Daiichi, right? And Kanoa, which is closed, was Grand, but it used to be something else. That wasn't Royal Taga before that. I don't remember what it was. Even World Resort used to be Diamond, right? So you keep up with the name changes. Oh, don't get me started on Kensington, right? How many iterations that there was Palms and Nico, and at least it's still open. And speaking of the Kensington, they've got their own issues too, not them in particular. But on the other end of the island, the same company, Elan, who runs COP and PIC, they're dealing with trying to get the lease renewed over at Coral Ocean Point. And they're getting some support, and they're getting some folks who aren't exactly big fans of what they're doing. And can we afford to lose another hotel right now, at least to a lease issue? They actually want to stay in business here. Do we want to lose another one? And another golf course. Marianas Golf Course, Marianas Country Club is like not even there, right? It's just an overgrown thing. I don't know if you've been up there. It's all closed off. And the guys do cut the grass from time to time, but I think that's just to prevent like tonga from growing on the fairway. But that's like a lost cause. You couldn't go out there and golf it right now. A lot of folks got issues. A lot of folks the business community has issues. And I don't know that now is the time to really jerk around with them. You know, we should try to be a little bit supportive of them, because all these guys start bailing out. There's not a line of people knocking on our door to try to get in here. Hopefully we do. That's what we want. That's the goal, is that we're going to have more people come in here. But right now, we're hurting a little bit. We're rebuilding. We're putting some, speaking of makeup, we're putting some makeup on Saipan. You know, the governor this Beach Road project is a big thing that the governor started when he was the lieutenant governor, and he really wants to get this stuff done. And that's going to look great when it's done. And then what's next, right? I haven't seen that road out there by Naftan and everything, but I heard that thing is coming along pretty well, and that's going to be nice. I can't imagine there's only a handful of people that live out that way, but imagine just not having all the dust. The only thing is that place is going to go from being like a dirt track to a paved speed track. I'm guessing they're going to have to put some speed bumps out there, because people are going to tear it up. It's going to be like the new Marpy strip that's going to be out there. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about some more of the issues that we got. I want to see, though, if we've got the update from AP so I can get you the latest national headlines. What we try to do is do that every hour, and that's when they become available. And it looks like there's a little delay. Sometimes they skip an hour. It just happens to be that way. The last one that we received was it was about an hour ago. So I don't have anything new for you. But I'll tell you what, if you're just tuning in, I'll just recap it for you. We'll give you the latest that AP Network News has, and then we'll refresh it when we get it.
AP News, I'm Ed Donahue. The Federal Reserve is keeping interest rates at a 2-decade high. The AP's Sagar Magani reports inflation is the reason.
The Fed had believed inflation was steadily easing, but
In recent months, inflation has shown a lack of further progress toward our 2% objective.
and Chair Jerome Powell says it will need greater confidence prices are slowing toward that goal before cutting rates.
I don't know exactly when that will be.
He says the Fed's prepared to keep the rates where they are as long as needed, after just 6 weeks ago projecting 3 rate cuts this year. Some Fed officials have speculated rates may not be high enough to curb the economy and inflation, but Powell's dismissing that.
I think it's unlikely that the next policy rate move will be a hike.
It also downplays concerns of stagflation, a toxic mix of weak growth, high unemployment, and elevated inflation.
I don't see the stag or the inflation, actually.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
Stocks finished mixed, the Dow up 87 points. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Democrats will table an attempt by Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene to oust Speaker Mike Johnson.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is the star of the show. The show is called Republicans Gone Wild. It is undermining the well-being of the American people.
Prosecutors in New York are asking for a September retrial for Harvey Weinstein. The disgraced movie mogul's 2020 rape conviction was overturned by an appeals court. Alvin Bragg is the DA.
The Court of Appeals decision certainly restricts us from using evidence that was used last time. But to be clear, we believe that we have a strong case.
Democrats in the Arizona Senate have enough votes to repeal an abortion ban. This is AP News. A 98-year-old woman in Ukraine who escaped Russian forces by walking almost 6 miles alone, wearing slippers and carrying a walking stick, was reunited with her family.
Lydia Stepanivna Lomikovska says in a video interview posted by the National Police of Donetsk region, "I woke up surrounded by shooting all around. So scary." Stepanivna and her family decided last week that the time had come to leave. The young family members took the back routes, but Lydia wanted to stay on the main road. The tough 98-year-old continues, "As I started walking, I saw uprooted trees. I lay down 2 times to rest. I was falling too. Once I lost balance and fell into weeds. Walking all day without food and water, she eventually reached Ukrainian lines." I'm Charles de Ledesma.
An exhibition of Western military equipment captured from Ukrainian forces opened today in Moscow. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Okay. I can hear everything but me. Oh, there we go. Maybe that music's a little too loud. Good morning, Marianas. Welcome back. We are here in the flesh from the Good Morning Marianas studios. Holy cow, the last time we did this stuff was back at the old Good Morning Marianas studios in San Vicente, overlooking Lau Lau Bay. But today, we're at the studio that we've called home for about a year now. But this is the first broadcast that we've had from it for Good Morning Marianas, and for good reason. I mean, I just couldn't do it, but I can do it now, and this is a lot of fun because I'm not driving down there on Beach Road. That's all right. You guys down there having a good time while you're driving. Just listen. You don't have to watch. I mean, you probably could, but you're going to get yourself a ticket. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. I'm having fun, and luckily I got a guy who has helped me out up here for sure because, I can do a couple of things, but I can't do a lot of things. And one of those things is not being the fanciest guy with all the equipment and all that other stuff. But I'll tell you, having the support from friends and partners and, family is what makes all this stuff work. I just want to share this little shot that behind the scenes while we were going earlier that that I got sent my way from Mr. Media helping me out over here. But I think I look a little happy in there. I think I'm enjoying what's going on. And it's just good to be here. But in case you're wondering what it looks like on the other side of the camera, that's it. That's how we're set up over here. Wow, look at how rich that background looks over there. The beautiful blue, even the bus stop. By the way, what the heck is going on behind that bus stop? That's what I want to know. We got the construction going on, but what's going on back there? Here, right around here. They're building something big around that bus stop. Is that going to be another bus stop, or is that going to be like something that says, welcome to the pathway? I don't know, but I'm definitely interested to find out. I'm really interested to find out because it's weird. I mean, it's just weird that they would end up putting that in there at that particular location. It just doesn't seem like it's the right fit for that spot. Like if it's going to be a bus stop, great. That would be fantastic. But if it's not going to be a bus stop, then, well, if it is a bus stop, what are they going to do? Knock down the other one? Like, I figure maybe it would be a COTA one because the bus stop right now for that blue line going up and down Beach Road is right out here at the CEDA building. CEDA building. I said it too fast. It almost sounded like I just said CDA. Yes, that's what it used to be called. But the other stop for it is across the street. So I can't imagine that that's one of the actual bus stops for the bus route, because why would they build it behind the bus stop for the school? I mean, it's all covered up. I don't know what's going on with that. I certainly don't know all of it, but that's why we need to get Henry Bautista to give us an update and tell us what's going on and why that's what the heck it is. Maybe it's, I don't know. What do you think it is? In New Pala, right by the bus stop like that? No, it's not. It's not that big. But it's about the size of like those covered things that they used to have on the Paseo de Marianas. And that is now a street. But the Paseo de Marianas, they used to have those little shaded relief areas. Really didn't shade a whole lot of anything. But they were there, and that's kind of like what that thing looks like right now. By the way, it's getting warmer outside. It's 81 degrees right now. Today, we are looking at a high of 86. Winds out of the east, 14 to 16 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. Oh, my goodness. We're having a great day here coming back. And, wow, hey, we got some folks going in there. Gus, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Ryan, thank you for coming in, and good to see you, too. We're going to just give this a little bit of a run. Today's kind of a little test run, too, just to see how everything works, what the setup is like, what's working for us and what's not. Probably going to try this really cool, massive 55-inch screen off to the side as one of those monitors where I could see everything that's going on, too. Kind of excited about that. All right, what just popped in? We're going to see. Oh, yeah. Hey, tonight, did you know that we've been covering baseball? Well, we have. And we've been really enjoying it, too. Tonight, we're going to be covering, so tune in tonight, 6:30, the Saipan Baseball League. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. I'll give you the whole schmear here. 1 second. Dun, dun, dun. Do I have any sports music? Maybe if I could do that, that would be cool. Hold on. Let me see if I've got something for you. Sports-wise, what do we got? Is this going to be good? No, it's okay. It's not super sportsy at all. But I like it, but I'll take it. I'll let that go. Anyway, so here's it is tonight. We have got the return of the Saipan Baseball League Game of the Week from the NMI News Service, Island Image of Motion, and we wouldn't be able to do it without the good folks from Marianas High School Productions and IT&E providing us with all the bandwidth that you need to get something like this going. The White Sox are taking on the defending champion Cardinals, and the Cardinals, you think they're the most stacked team out there, but I wasn't prepared to watch them take a loss in the opening game to the Falcons, but the Falcons, they weren't a team last year. They're a team this year, and man, they strong. They look so good, and they're resilient. They were able to take some lumps and answer back. So, man, Falcons looking strong this year, but tonight we're going to see the White Sox and the Cardinals. So tune on right here at NMI News Service. You can also see it online on YouTube on Island Image and Motion. We'll have those links up there tonight. So tune in here at 6:30. You'll be able to see it. We have a lot of fun doing these games, and we're really glad that you guys tune in for it too, because if you didn't, then, then we'd be doing it for nobody, and we're really glad. Holy cow, Norman Del Rosario. Good morning. Good to see you, my man. I hope all is well with you. Dude, I worked with this guy for a long time, about 7 years over at IT&E. And that dude is so talented. And, yeah, I'm all blowing smoke up here now. But he's so talented. Graphics, marketing, got a great eye for everything if you're doing anything. And he does stuff remotely, too. So if you guys need any work done, he could do it for you here in Saipan from his place in the States. No kidding. And he has got all kinds of training for AI stuff, too, and like AI marketing and all that. So he can help you guys out. If you see him in the comments, you can reach out to him. Sylvan, hey, Kelly says, half a day. Well, half a day, Kali. Man, great to see you. Great to see you. It's great to see all you guys back out here again today. Hey, we're working on making sure we iron out all the kinks and everything, make sure this studio works out for us, make sure this setup that we got over here is working out for us too, and we're going to continue to improve upon it. Again, you could call in anytime, 670-789-2323, 670-789-2323, and I would take it right now because we could definitely use a little test to find out if everything is working. We haven't tried the phone line yet. Maybe we should just call somebody randomly and ask them some questions. That's the worst, right? The cold call. I can't do it to somebody. I can't do it. Anyway, the weather's not too shabby at all. We're looking pretty good out there. It is 81 degrees. Let's see if I can show you what it looks like out there for us. I can. Let me open this up a little bit. See, this is part of it. Getting all these things squared away so you guys can see it pretty nice and easy. Here. When we get back into the flow of things, this will be it. Here, I'll give you you could do this on your own by going online, but this is where we are right now. You can zoom in a little bit closer. You see the winds in our part of the world. Not too bad. There, you get a great look at what we're looking at for wind speeds and everything. Nothing crazy. We got nothing to really worry about. There's no big storms coming our way, and it's just pretty nice. It's Celsius on here. I can't figure out Celsius. I know that there's a program. There's a formula for it. It was like 9/5 or 5/9, doing all that Fahrenheit to Celsius stuff. I don't remember it. If you know it, good for you. But you could teach us. We'll take it. I'll definitely be happy to learn a little bit about how to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. 'Cause I just don't remember. I don't remember how to do that at all. I could go online and do it. It says Ramel will be running in the Cincinnati Flying Pig Marathon this weekend, representing the NMI. The Flying Pig Marathon. Well, first of all, props to Ramel. That's awesome. But I got to Google this thing. The Flying Pig Marathon in Cincinnati. Wow. It's Queen Bee half. That's something else that they've got. This is the big deal. Here, I'll show you guys a little bit about what I'm looking at too. But it's Pigworks. What is Pigworks? Is that is it like a bar or something? What is Pigworks? Anyway, it's got one of the USA's Today's 10 best marathons, the Cincinnati Flying Pig Marathon. Oh my gosh. It looks like they get a ton of people out there, almost as much as we got for the Bubble Run. Okay, they got more. They definitely got more. Turns out Cincinnati's a little bit bigger than our island of 40,000 people, so they can get a ton of people in there. Wow, they got a great running series that leads up to this whole thing too. Man, Norm, this thing looks awesome. I can't believe Ramel's going to do that. That's awesome. Couldn't be a better guy too who's going to participate in it. Maybe we'll be able to get him for a phone call to tell us a little bit more about how that training must have been for him. The marathon stuff sounds like a million miles away from where I'm at right now. I couldn't run a marathon. I couldn't even walk it, I don't think. It would definitely leave me feeling a little gimpy. And I saw all those folks who were coming in, like first-time marathoners during the Saipan Marathon, which was awesome, by the way. They did a great job with it. But I saw some people with some real like hamburger-looking feet by the time they got done. It was not a pleasant sight for them at all. It was pretty bad. Well, 8:26. We were looking at doing about an hour this morning, and I think we're just about there. We'll give you a go for about another 8 minutes just to round out, get that nice round 1 hour number on there. But if you've got some ideas about what you'd like us to talk about in the future, some topics that you think are great, we'll be happy to do this. It's really great to have people tune in. They just got a message. Thanks for that message, and thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I love seeing it. I love seeing you guys back here. You know, I'll tell you, a year ago when we left Good Morning Marianas, I really felt a little empty. You know, I really miss this. This is something I really like to do. I love talking to the folks. Well, I love to talk, I guess. But I love talking to folks, finding out what's going on in the community, being a little bit of a conduit between folks in the States who used to live here so they can hear like the topics of what's going on here and a little bit beyond the story that you get in the papers, right? The newspapers do a great job of getting the info out there. But you don't get there's no way to get the whole picture just from one story. That's why they report every single day on things, right? So, and while they do a great job of laying that stuff down, you know, we can add a little extra layer of context. You know, you don't want just one source for anything anyway. It's not good for journalists. It's not good for people digesting the news either. So you take all those different layers, put them together, and that's how you can kind of piece together what's happening. And that's what's going on here. So I love being that guy and doing that kind of stuff for us. It's a kick for me. I mean, I just dig this stuff. And I'm really still disappointed that there's no later update from the headline news. Now, what we're going to end up doing, we'll make these shows a little bit longer and longer and longer. It'll be more of a dedicated thing. We'll be out there till like 9, 10, and, you know, depends on how early we start. I still got my early morning, drop the kids off to school routine. I got to do that stuff. So by doing that, kind of settled in for like a 7:30 start, which I think is kind of going to work for folks. I don't mind starting earlier. I'd love to, but I just got real commitments in life too. I got to take care of. That's family stuff. I like that. I'm happy to have it, so I'm going to be doing it. Whew. Anyway, there's only so much you could say, but I want to say thanks to the folks. I've been getting messages from you guys in the comments, and it's great. Really great to see you guys in the comments too, in WhatsApp, getting that stuff too. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm feeling the love from you guys. I am. It's great. I miss this stuff, guys. And I miss being able to interact with you guys too. All right. So I'm going to spin a little bit. What am I going to do next? Now, let's tackle another topic. Let's just look at some of the things that we got. Well, I take a real quick cup of coffee. It didn't come out as loud as I wanted. There it is.
Check out the big brain on Brad. You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
Okay. Stuff you can't say on the radio, right? Little Pulp Fiction clip on there. 902 talks. We were having a conversation about that this morning. What are the 902 talks? Well, people know. 902 talks, it's one, in Section 9 in the covenant. It opens the door for communications between the Commonwealth and the United States. And that is what's been initiated by Governor Palacios. He just sent out his letter and it got distributed to everybody. He said, hey, I want to talk about direct financial assistance that we are afforded under Section 7 of the covenant, 702, and talk about the tourism and infrastructure and our access to skilled labor because, you know, we need it out here. And especially if we're going to give some kind of a kickstart to our economy and we need to build some stuff. I don't know what that stuff's going to be yet. We're looking at trying to keep stuff open. But either way, now is a good time for the CNMI to have this conversation with the with the administration for the United States, because we need some serious help. We're going through some serious crisis, financially anyway, and we are trying to dig ourselves out of a hole that is not looking easy at all. It's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to be very difficult for folks. And people are feeling it. Everybody. If you the closure of the Hyatt is just one thing. Every business is feeling it. Every business. Your favorite company, they're feeling it. Everybody's feeling this pinch. And Guam seems like they're booming right now. Everybody's hiring over there. They are just booming. And the Marines are coming. You know, they are coming. We had the chamber meeting. We had the spokesperson from the Senior Executive Services, Mark Hashimoto, who just retired as a major general. It's a 2-star general in the Marine Corps. And he was telling us, like, hey, the first Marines are starting to come by the end of the year. And that's only 100 coming from Okinawa. And then they're going to be coming a whole heap more. So their housing, their businesses, they're just going to be bracing for more and more people. You know who else is bracing for more and more people? Tinian. But Mr. Hashimoto said that they're not going to have any permanent staff that are going to be there. So it's not like they're not setting up like a big Marine base in Tinian. That's not happening. But there are going to be people who have to be there to maintain the facilities that they're going to have. So after the construction's done, they're still going to have to be there to maintain that training facility. So we're going to get a little piece of that. But because all that stuff's happening, and because the PRC, People's Republic of China, they're trying to make waves out here in the Marianas, or not just the Marianas, just throughout the Pacific region. It's our opportunity to get, this came in from public safety. Just want to let you know, and I'll flash this up here for you guys too. It's a missing persons from Department of Public Safety. That's good enough reason for us to stop what we're talking about. Juan Salas. Let me pull this up so I can show you guys the picture that we got from DPS. Their PIO, Freddie Sato, Sergeant Freddie Sato. Here, let me get this. Which email is this? Just one moment while I pull this up. I just want you guys to be able to see the flyer. But we do have a missing person bulletin that just came out from Department of Public Safety. Sergeant Freddie Sato. Really good guy, too. Here, let me open this up. So you can see it. Hooray. Can I zoom in on this? I know I can. All right, we're going to get this for you. Just so you can see it. So maybe you recognize the guy's face, and you'll be able to see him here a little bit. There we go. Let me open that up. Okay, a little bit more and a little bit more. Oh, I'm just moving it. That's why I'm trying to make it bigger. All right. So missing person out there. Here's the flyer from Department of Public Safety. Looking to find Juan Salas. He's 59235 out of Gualo Rye. He's 65 years old, and he was last seen yesterday at about 7:30, so about 24 hours. And he was wearing a shirt, black jean shorts, and black slippers. If you've got any information about his whereabouts, please give DPS a call at 911, or you can call their office number at 664-9002. But excuse me, the community is looking for their missing person, Juan Salas, in Guala Rye, missing since yesterday. So, geez Louise, hopefully we find him safely. He's been missing since yesterday morning, and the last time they saw him was at his house. So 65 years young, and hopefully we can find him and get him home safe. So if you know anything about it, give DPS a call at 664-9002 or 911. Give them a call, help them out if you find them. And Mr. Salas, if you're just out there taking a stroll, go ahead, give them a call, tell them you're okay. Your family's certainly interested in your well-being. So, all right. So I think that's about what we got for today, guys. We reached our goal of hitting that 1 hour. Let's just find out if we're going to give it one more shot. It's usually they wouldn't do it till 9 o'clock. So might be another 24 minutes. I might come back later to try it again a little bit later anyway with some tweaks to the setup. So if you pop in at that time too, fine. I'll be here and be happy to take your comments and stuff. So you're going to see some testing stuff today. You'll see it over you'll see it tomorrow too. And then next week we'll have the full slate of everything starting next week. So if you'd like to advertise with us, remember 789-2323. Give us a call. Be happy to do it. The rates are great, and your exposure is going to be great too. Just ask Tobot about his tinting from baseball, and hopefully he'll give us a little warm review. Anyway, let's say thanks to all you guys who tuned in. We'll be back later for sure while we try out some new stuff. And, man, it's just great to be here. It's great to see you guys out here. Thanks to everybody who commented this morning. And we'll see you guys again a little bit later today. But get used to it because we'll be back here every morning on the weekdays. How is that possible? It is. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Tried to sneak that in there before I had the cough. Anyway, we'll see you guys in just a little bit.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawamian greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news from a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun on Good Morning Marianas.